not really aware about beforehand. So prior to cancer and after cancer, and if you know many cancer patients who've survived, who are thriver, who are conquerors, you'll actually see that they are glowing much more, they look after themselves, and they are full of life and they're smiling. It's because when you're faced with your own mortality, you realize the value of your life. And you realize that, oh, you know, this is what we have, we might as well make the best out of it. So in that process, I have made it a small, not a speech, but three, 4 pointers which I would like to share with you, and I hope it's useful for you guys. Number one, I want to talk about is what cancer taught me is to have a bird's eye view. Meaning, you know, earlier on, I would get consumed with the stresses of life. Life is filled with stress. There's always a problem, whether it's work, whether it's family, whether it's this or financial, and blah, 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 blah. So, and me being a hypersensitive actor, public figure, कुछ भी खराब छोटा मोटा भी खराब आ जाता था तो मैं बहुत परेशान हो जाती थी और उसमें डिप्रेशन हो जाता था. So I did not, and I used to get consumed with that, you know. But after dealing with cancer, I can have challenges, I can have problems, but I say, oh, if I can deal with that, I'm sure I can deal with this. So I started having a bird's eye view, a bigger horizon, rather than a worm's eye view. Not getting consumed by the problems of life. There are going to be problems in life. Number two, which is really important for me, see, I'm telling you these things very simply because I'm a very simple thinking person, is setting priorities. When I realize, oh, I'm going to die, then I must live my life, whatever remaining life that I have, true to me. So I did a lot of soul searching. I did a lot of focused attention to what are the things that are important to me, not what are the things I'm supposed to be doing, or oh, if I do this, society will like me, if I do that, my parents will like me. And you know, so many people find various reasons to do things rather than it's coming from their soul space. And with passion, people with, you know, fire in their bellies. You can only get that if you know that you love to do what you're doing. So find what is it that is important to you. What it is that makes you like, you know, want to get up in the morning and just run to your work and do your best. You know, prioritize your life. For me, for instance, I'll give you, like wellness became my number one priority. I say wellness because health, according to me, human health is harmony between body, emotional body, mental body, psychological body, spiritual body, and physical body. A harmony between that's what I call wellness. So to maintain a good health, I had to have an overall health, overall wellness in mind. Then as an actor, I'm an artist. You know, artistic expression was important to me. So I wanted to do movies, I wanted to act movies, but guess what? I'm not in my 20s. And when I was in my 20s, I would do things, but now I'm in my late 40s. Obviously, there's a shift. You know, I can't do things which I was doing when I was in my 20s, so I have to change according to the changing time. And I have to see, okay, what are the markets? What are the things that they're doing? Social media, I was not aware about the social media. But this is what the new generation is. So I have to get used to social media. Now I'm active in social media. Things like that. So basically, and thank you. Basically, being creative serves my soul, my spirit. So I do that. You know, last year I did 2-3 films which will be releasing this year. This year I've signed a couple of movies, very exciting films, which will, you know, I'm really looking forward for working in those movies. So things are falling into the place because I have prioritized that. I know how important they are to me. The other thing that are important to me is contribution. Now that I keep on repeating one story because that is the single most story that changed me for good. And that is when I was in hospital in Sloan Kettering. Not too many people were visiting me. Only very, very few people were visiting me. There used to be one pathologist, Zina ji. Her name is Dr. Navneet Narula. She would come and spend her Sundays, free days with me. And I was really intrigued because, obviously she's not my fan and she's not somebody whom I've known from before. So I asked her, I said, Zinaji, why are you doing this? And she very candidly said, Manisha ji, with the hope that you will do this to somebody else. Now, honestly, that really impacted me in a way. I'd say, okay, there is some truth here. We actors, we get so much of adulation and love. It's sometimes great to give it back in whatever capacity. Whether I'm cleaning Bagmati River in Nepal, I don't know when it's going to get cleaned, but I'm there cleaning, or spreading awareness about having a preventive lifestyle, because I had the disease. So I know the importance of having a healthy lifestyle. I didn't have a healthy lifestyle before, so I talk about it openly, so that people get encouraged on the right track. I try and raise funds for the poor cancer patient. I need to do a lot more in that field, I know, but eventually I will do it because my heart is set on that. And it's not that I'm doing it because of anything, but it feeds my soul. It's one of the things that are important to me. So the contribution, basically. So I have prioritized my life. I'm clear how I'm going to be spending my time because I know there's only a little time that I have. I'm born, I'll be gone tomorrow. I don't know when. But till then, I'm here now. I want to make the most of it. How do I make the most of it? Is being clear. Is actually being clear of, okay, this is what I want to do with my life. So prioritizing is really important. Now, number 3, again, is exceptionally important, if not the most. I say is spreading joy. And that too, I learned during my cancer treatment and in recovery phases. And at the end of the day, what really gives us joy is not the big things. I mean, that's also is part of the game. Having a big car is part of the game. Having a great apartment is part of the game. And that's all is good. But, there are joy in small, small things, which nature gives us for free, and we take it for granted. Like we take our life for granted. I took my life for granted. We are not really grateful for this life. We should be grateful for this life. We are here today. We should be grateful to the people around us. When I became all right, I just wanted to hug people on the street and say, yeah, we are alive. So basically, that's a sense of gratitude which comes. And, I started enjoying walking barefoot on the grass. I started enjoying the different colors of the sky, sunset, the flocking of the birds, the trees. I love going into the nature, hiking, trekking, and stuff like that. And listening to people's stories, having time and having patience and having your heart open to listen to people's stories, their pain, their dreams, their aspirations. Everything is so beautiful. So these are the things which actually gives joy. And when your heart is filled with joy, you automatically will spread it out to other people. So these were the 3 gifts, dear friends, I received from cancer. And number 1 is having a bird's eye view. Number 2 is setting your priorities. Number 3 is being joyful and being grateful for this miraculous life that we have. now, since this is a cancer event, and I've been through the crisis myself, just a little bit, few things I would like to share, is that I promised myself that if I get a second chance, I will talk about my disease, and not in a depressing way, but in a way that it gives hopes to other people. And because when I was like searching who, when you get cancer, there's such a huge fear, because in our movies, what they show, cancer matlab death, so that's the stigma which is attached. So I was desperately looking for good stories, and not many good stories were there, because people who recover, they don't want to remind, and they want to move on. They want to just, But I feel it's important because I needed to hear, I needed to see that somebody has survived this cancer that I have. And there were very few, and I'm really, really grateful for those people who have come out and spoken, like Lisa Ray and Yuvraj Singh and so many others. So I decided I'll be talking about my cancer and talk about openly and give hope and motivation to people if they need it. Second thing, again, this is a lesson that I have learned from my life, is, why to fall sick in the first place? Why not to have a preventive lifestyle? Now I've done, being a cancer patient, you become like 1/4 of a doctor. I don't know, or 1/10 or 100, I don't know. So I read a lot. And I ask, a lot of my friends are doctors and experts. A lot of my family, my uncle is here who's a doctor. So I keep on asking a question, so I have accumulated second-hand information. But non-communicable disease, which is cancer and lungs and XYZ, basically are lifestyle related. And so if we can have a preventive lifestyle, like no alcohol, no smoking, eating right. I am 90% vegetarian, organic. I try and eat organic food as much as possible. And 90% vegetarian because sometimes I eat fish. Already. Sleeping 8 to 9 hours, I put my foot down, even if I'm working and if I'm traveling, I do that. Anything that if my body is stressed, do recreational stuff, drinking a lot of water, and things like that. There's so many information out there. You just, basically have a preventive lifestyle. You become like a hawk about your own health, because body keeps on giving you signals, and we are not trained to listen to the signals that body is giving. And by the time we reach to the doctor, it's too late. So that's why, I've got to know that periodic checkup is a must. And if there is a slight signal that body is giving, consult a doctor. There's so many helpful, good doctors all around us who will guide us in the right direction. So be mindful, be agile, take ownership of your health, and we can, stay away from the disease. Now, despite all that, if something has to happen, will happen. And it has happened in many cases. I know many people who had a great lifestyle, yet they have fallen sick. So, for those people, I would say there is hope. Today, medical science has advanced a lot. There are treatments available, there are things available, you'll be fine. I know so many cancer patients by now who've had cancer, who've had treatment, and they're fine. Just so don't give up hope. There is a treatment available. Cancer is curable, cancer is treatable. just find the right doctor, go to the right place, don't get misguided, and take the ownership of your life and of your health. That's all I got to say. Thank you. Let's have a great and happy and healthy life. Thank you. Thank you, Manisha.